Hey everybody, welcome back to Nicsminibikes. If you haven't yet, hit that link down in the description. Go pick up some merchandise. We got hats, shirts, hoodies, all kinds of cool stuff. Go get you something. So in the last video, you saw us put the 99cc Hover Heart engine up against this old Coleman 99cc engine, and this old Coleman came out on top. And today we're going to get rid of this old Coleman engine, and we're going to put a brand new Predator 212 in our Hover Hearts today. So come along for the ride, and let's get that 212 in this frame. So I don't know what happened. I had a heck of a time getting audio to come through on this video. So in this section, you're just going to get a quick little voiceover. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get this Coleman 99cc engine out of here. And to start doing that, I got to get the fan shroud back off. And I got to get the black box dyno RPM sensor off the engine. And then we'll put a new uncut fan shroud on. And then we'll get this motor pulled off of here and get ready to put our Predator 212 on the Hover Hearts MB001 frame.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up.
Alright, so we've all seen a Predator 212 come out of a box, so we skipped that part, and this is what we got. We got a Predator 212 Hemi, and you can tell it's a Hemi because of the valve cover here. So I was told I had to pick one, a Hemi or a non-Hemi, and I can do any upgrades I wanted to it. I'd go with the Hemi, just for the simple fact that it takes clone camshafts and it has a flat top piston. I'd pick a Hemi and switch the head, but that's not what we're doing here. So because of the long bolts I have over there, I'm going to take the top of this engine apart. I'm going to take the gas tank off, the airbox, and the exhaust. And hopefully that just makes it easier for me to set in that frame. And then once it's in there, I can put this stuff back on. So I'm going to knock this out. We'll start with the airbox here. And it's just going to be two 10mm bolts. Disconnect this line here. And you got a hose on the back to the valve cover, and then that'll come right off. And we'll flip her around this way so you can see what I'm doing. Maybe, yeah. Take our exhaust off. And I got two 10mm up here for the gas tank. And then on the back side here, I got one 8mm bolt. Just like that. And I have had this off before. I lost the audio. Fuel line's disconnected. Now I do want to get in here and disconnect my oil sensor, and for that I'm just going to unplug this one here and this one here. That oil sensor is disconnected and it won't be a problem for us. Little 8mm here, get rid of this box. Now we got that all stripped down to how far we want it. Hopefully it'll fit easier in the frame. If it does, great. If it still fights us, then I don't know. You know, gonna end up fighting it. Whatever. Let's get this back over to the bike. So just like I wanted, that went on really easy. Get my nuts started. Seem to have lost two, so I guess we'll just start two for now. Or slid as far forward as we can go for now. And we'll get this stuff put back on. And I'm going to start with the gas tank because I think the fuel line here is going to fight me the most. Oh, let's pull the fuel line off the carburetor. So we got that fuel line off the carburetor. We'll put it on the bottom of the tank first. Slide our clamp back down over it. Out of the way. And we'll fish this fuel line back through, hopefully. We'll start our little 8mm bolt in the back here. And then our 2 little 10mm nuts in the front. Get those snugged up and the tank is on. Get our throttle hooked back up. And then our fuel line back onto the carburetor. Now this engine isn't designed to go on a go-kart or a mini bike. It's made for your grandpa's rototiller. So once you get it, you have to take this nut here and loosen it up until your throttle returns by itself. So we're gonna pull it full throttle and we're just gonna keep loosening up this here nut. Till our throttle returns itself to idle. There. And we'll give it a little more. Just like that. And then I'm going to take out the throttle stop screw because I don't want that in there. Then we'll get this throttle hooked up. I like to come in from the back on these Predators like this. You can come around through the front, hook it here, or from the back and hook it here. I like second option there. Clamp our sheathing down like this. 10mm and a Phillips screwdriver. Then I think it makes life easier pulling it out all the way. And then we can thread this throttle cable through the keeper there. All right, so we got our throttle hooked up. She returns to idle. Really easy to twist. I'm gonna take some snips and I'm gonna trim back the cable. Now we'll get our air box put back on. Make sure this gasket goes in the right orientation like that. Take our air box, make sure this hose goes to the valve cover. Looks like we barely clear back here, which is perfect. That motor is as far forward as it can go on our slides there. Snug these up slowly, little on each side. Just snug. Hook our vent line back to the top. Now we're ready to go to the other side and do the exhaust. Now we're over here. We'll set our exhaust in place, hopefully. That's the nice thing about that adjustable motor plate, is I can slide that engine over and get that exhaust to go on. And we'll snug it up. And that motor's in. I gotta do the kill switch still. Not a big deal. That's real quick. The exhaust is hitting the frame here and it's as far forward as we can make it go. So I want to check my chain alignment and see what we can do. Probably nothing. So we'll just try the clutch this way. Got my chain alignment laser. And that's actually not far off there. Clutch would have to be right there. That's actually not terrible. That whole motor is hanging out of that side of the bike though, and I'd like to get it a little more in the frame. So I have this old exhaust and it's parked right there. It looks like it might be a good fit. So let's just try it. It's still touching right there. It didn't really make much of a difference. So I'm gonna pull these heat shields off and see how much more room that gives us with the heat shields pulled off. So here's the old one. And that's going to free us up a lot. So we're going to go with that. But I still want the heat shield on there. Well, maybe I'll just trim it back to clear the frame. All right, so we got that heat shield trimmed on that old exhaust, and that gave us a lot more room there by the frame. So that gives us more adjustments we can make side to side and forwards and backwards. And we do want to set this motor as far back as we can initially. That way we can help get our chain adjusted. So we got our laser chain alignment tool again. Turn it on. And we need to go back a little bit. We'll shoot right onto that sprocket right there. Then all of these can just get snugged up for now, just to kind of hold that motor in place a little bit. Wonder if I turn it this way, if I can bring that motor towards me, because that's what I'd like. Right there, and I could probably build that out and live with that right there. I'm gonna take a few washers back here, but I think I'll be okay with that. I brought the motor this way almost as far as I can with the way I have that plate on there. All right, so I figured out the stack of washers I need. These are actually machine bushings. They fit perfectly over a 3/4 inch shaft, and I need 4 of those. And then my clutch keyway. This is the stock keyway from the Predator. It came with it. I cut it down to fit my keyway slot on the clutch. Then I got a 5/16 24 bolt, a lock washer, a regular washer, and a big fat fender washer. Then we'll double check our alignment. The motor did move, so we'll just have to put it back. Not a big deal. There we go. So that laser's here, and it shoots centered on this sprocket to the other sprocket here. Oh, come on. Right there, you can see it hitting. Well, that was rough, but you could see it's hitting on the peaks of our clutch. So that's right where we want that motor to be. And I think we're good to snug this motor down. So let me get a wrench. All right, so I was up late last night buttoning this up. We got oil in it. We got gas in it. We finished the chain. And we got the motor tightened down, and the chain as straight as I can get it. So once this motor's tightened down, there's no way this gas cap is coming out of that tank. So it's full, and we got other plans for the motor, so it's not staying in this spot. It is way too far to the right. I want it more centered in the frame, so we got plans for that. But the gas is on at the carburetor, and we are choked. Kill switch is hooked up. I did hook up that too. Throttle returns. Let's see if she'll start up. First start up, she's purring like a kitten. She sounds pretty good. Let's take her for a ride in the grass here. Try to put you in a place where you get as much of it as possible. So she feels really good. That is a new clutch on there from Kart Supply. Same chain. I couldn't use the clutch from the smaller engines because the shaft is smaller, so I couldn't use those. So we got a new clutch on there, and it feels pretty good. I do need to order a chain guard for it. The Hover Hearts one won't fit on this engine. Well, that's not entirely true. I didn't even try. I'm just going to order a clutch guard, and I'll get that put on there. Could we get a little more clearance if we flip that plate top to bottom and bottom to top? I don't know. Maybe not. Could we get this engine in there without the plate? I don't. Not any better than what it's in there now. Our mounting bolts on the engine are right at the edge of the motor mount plate, so you're either gonna have a drilled hole right on the edge of your plate, or the adjustable mounting plate. But there we have it. Hover Hearts MB001 with a Predator 212 swap. I am planning on doing like a knockoff of Redbeard's Garage Road to Horsepower with this bike and engine, but I think we're going to break it down a little more. I think we're going to do one part at a time and see what increases, if any, we get out of that one particular part. So if that's a series you would like to see me start, leave a comment down below and let me know that that's something you'd like to see, whether you comment or not. I'm probably still going to do it, but make sure you hit that link down in the description. Go check out our merchandise. We got hats, shirts, hoodies, all kinds of cool stuff. Go get you something. And as always, make sure you like, share, comment, hype the video, and subscribe. It's free for you and it helps us out. We appreciate you being here, and we'll catch you on the next one.